Hey guys, and welcome to the Working Money Channel. So I've got Bitcoin here on the hourly. Right now it's trading at $39,500. And after the uptrend we saw yesterday that took place, topped out yesterday afternoon, we are seeing a bit of a decline for Bitcoin. So Bitcoin did hit a high of roughly $40,000. Now it's coming back down. So $39,500, not a terrible landing point considering what we saw over the last couple of days. Bitcoin did bottom out at roughly $37,500. Saw this huge move up, and now we are forming what is looking like a bullish pennant on that hourly time frame. And the rest of the market, I mean, altcoins, our focus here on XRP, we did see a bit of a pop for XRP, albeit not by much. XRP did rally roughly, how much? About 10% at its top. Now it's down to about 63.6. Some of the best performers in the altcoin market yesterday included Avalanche. Avalanche did rally roughly 19.5%, as you guys can see here. Also, another coin that did rally quite significantly was Cardano's ADA, and that rallied roughly 19.1% as well. So we did obviously see some altcoins do better than others. Nevertheless, this is still just a spec move following Bitcoin, and TA analysts here bringing this to our attention. Bitcoin's fifth historical bull run has started. So, did you think we were in a bear market? Some are still insisting that, yeah, Bitcoin is in a bear market. If I just bring this Fibonacci down all the way from the top, Bitcoin's all-time high from back in November, all the way down to this trough, we are now hovering under the 0.236. So, what that would mean, if we are in fact in a bear market, we would have to break this low here, make new lows, or, one suggestion would be that we rally up to the 0.702 and then finally make new lows from there. In either one of these cases, that would dictate a bear market. However, some people are suggesting that we are going to actually make new highs. And here's just another analytical perspective from TA Analyst on Twitter. Now, what he's looking at here is the Bitcoin chart all the way back from 2012. So this is spanning a decade's worth of time. Taking a look at these low points in the Bitcoin trend right over here. Over here, he's noted it with a green circle. And now, over here, in 2022, what he's correlating that with, guys, is the K-line of the SPX. The SPX being the stock market, so he's correlating this with traditional markets, and this is the weekly stochastic. So every time we saw that go low, move to a new low, we saw Bitcoin price rally right after that. So we saw it in 2015 as well. I guess I should talk about this one. We saw it in 2012, 2015. We saw it in 2019 right over here when Bitcoin did capitulate. I know some of you guys were probably here for that. Of course, when beer flu markets shut down here, we saw it in early 2020 as well. And now look where we are. We're at the same point here. We're at that same inflection point for the SPX, and the chart is looking poised to rally once again. So another perspective here. I know some of you guys already have it in your head that Bitcoin is going to move lower. And yeah, it will move lower one day, but in my opinion, not actually before we see new highs being printed on the chart. Okay. SEC versus library. This is a case that the XRP community has been also following with regards to the SEC because they want to get this one tied up fairly quickly. James K. Filan brought this to our attention in the SEC versus library case. The SEC has filed its motion for summary judgment. See below. Below are exhibits to the SEC's motion for summary judgment in the library case. So he lists these documents here for you guys to peruse. The SEC has filed a second round of exhibits to its motion for summary judgment in the SEC versus library case, and it's funny because some people down here pointing out how quickly the SEC wants to move on settling this case, clearly, because they are winning this case, compared to the Ripple and XRP case, which, for all intents and purposes, I think it's safe to say they know they are losing, and so they want to put that one off as long as possible. Bill here also commenting on this. We certainly know now that the SEC in the library case is definitely not ignoring the common enterprise prong of Howey, and we at least can see a coherent argument. It's basically pooling funds from library sales in a library account. This cannot support a notion that library is a security per se. Bill continues by saying that was a horizontal commonality. They also apply vertical commonality. Don't see why on this reasoning. In case theory, the SEC cannot confirm that sales of XRP today on the secondary market are not sales of securities, and XRP is not a security per se. And then he tags John Deaton in this. We still have not received a response from John Deaton. Mikkel XRP, though, he comments on this. Why does this not support library is a security per se? And Bill responds, the argument is about pooling of the sales and refers to library sales of library and the proceeds being placed in a library account. So that is the difference between the library case and the Ripple XRP case. It cannot apply, for example, to me swapping library tokens for some other crypto on the secondary exchange or vice versa. So, just at this point here, they are using, for whatever reason, 3 prongs of the Howey test. Let her Ripple over here saying, I thought there were 4 prongs to the Howey test. What's the deal with this? So yeah, I don't quite know. What's with the whole 3 prong of the Howey test talk? C student also asking that same question. I'm not entirely sure, to be honest with you. Anyway, just thought I would bring that to your attention because that is another cryptocurrency related case that we are focusing on at the moment. And now, guys, we've also gotten this from U.S. lawmakers brought to us by Michael at Val5Links. They are now objecting to double their size of their enforcement division. I did a video on that a couple of days ago now. I'll link it up here in the top right-hand corner. Regulators will be better equipped to police wrongdoing in the crypto markets while continuing to identify, disclosure, and control issues with respect to cybersecurity. This is Gary Gensler's argument as to why he plans to add more resources to the SEC's arsenal. Lawmaker statements attacking the SEC's expansion, though. Crypto Mom, the SEC Commissioner Hester Peirce, tweeted. She said the SEC is a regulatory agency with an enforcement division, not an enforcement agency. So Hester Peirce just one who is critical about this, and I mentioned her comment the other day. Further, though, Congressman Patrick McHenry also opposed, saying that the SEC Chair's Gary Gensler's decision on regulating enforcement is making difficulties in American innovation. If the U.S. wants to lead the development to the next generation of internet technology, it is necessary to provide clear, thoughtful rules for the digital asset ecosystem. Warren Davidson also objected to Gary Gensler's idea of creating value, further reacting by saying the SEC Chair's decision is a mistaken belief that Gary Gensler is tested the labor theory value at the SEC. The more labor, the more value created would never be helpful, he stated. Another lawmaker opposed Gary Gensler, this time Tom Emmer. I wonder how many taxpayer dollars are being wasted in Gary Gensler's personal crusade against the crypto industry. So some of these I actually talked about the other day. I did not mention this one, though. Bill Huizenga. He said Congress should not cede its authority to Gary Gensler. The SEC's desires to use regulation by enforcement to provide clarity for digital asset market participants is a power grab. We need responsible solutions, not edicts from bureaucrats. So there you have it. People lashing back, U.S. lawmakers lashing back at Gary Gensler. And guys, guess what we've got? We've got the Hinman emails, ProCoin News here, saying huge credit to Stu Young XRP. We have Bill Hinman's emails. And just to go down here, El Diablo Dictator Know-It-All saying they have redacted a load of emails, including email addresses. Those must be the emails that went out to external parties. Those are the ones we need without redaction. It looks delicious. So yeah, full disclosure here, we've got the emails, but they are very heavily redacted. 8-Bit Slong down here saying, welp, what I don't see, Clayton's name, Peirce's name. It's hard to believe that those redactions are legit. Must have been really personal. Clayton is on an email, says Dictator Know-It-All. Letter Ripple saying, surely this answers the question of attorney-client privilege. These emails don't seem to contain legal advice, so attorney-client privilege is as dead as DDP. Please, please, please. So here we go, guys. Let me just get into this. Courtesy of Stuart Young XRP. So Stuart forwarded the documents to us so we could get them out to you. This coming from ProCoin News here. So we published these with his express permission. We also note these items received in the FOIA request are public domain. So just giving a definition of the Freedom of Information Act. Now let's get into the meat of what we've got. Stuart's FOIA request asked for 3 items. Access to Bill Hinman's public calendar and a list of the 63 email recipients he discussed the Hinman speech content with, or number 3, any official SEC meetings Jay Clayton had with Ethereum. And amazingly today, we finally received a response. Here is the letter back from the FOIA Service Department of the SEC. We have redacted Stuart's address for privacy. So he got a response back from them, basically just saying that everything is available at this website here. So you can see that link there. In regards to item 2 of your request, the enclosed 71 pages of the emails are released with the exception of information withheld under this ruling here for following reasons. Under Exemption 5, certain responsive information was prepared in anticipation of litigation, and so it just gives some reasons as to why they did it that way. Hover your mouse over the letter and use the buttons at the bottom to read all 3 pages. This is just the cover letter, but I found so many things interesting here. First, they've come up with a lot of reasons why they are redacting the information. Also, their response to request number 1, which was a copy of Hinman's public calendar. Note, I said his public calendar. These are civil servants in the SEC, are they not? They work for us, do they not? What kind of system do we have here where the SEC can't quite decide if us plebes are entitled to see the public calendar? Wow. So we did not actually get a copy of the calendar. But ProCoin news continues. Now let's get into the fun stuff, the Hinman emails. There are probably more redacted portions than parts they allow you to see, and that's not surprising. But there is still a lot we can gather here. First, there are a lot of names in the to and from and CC fields, and I have a feeling the digital asset investor is going to be a dog with a bone here looking at each one of these names, along with everyone else in the XRP community that does such incredible work, including Tag, Stéphane Hubert, just to name a couple. The second thing that jumps out at me is how active Hinman was in making edits and reviewing drafts of the speech. And everyone sure seemed to act like they needed his approval on the final draft. I see a lot of SEC.gov emails here in these email chains, and it sure looks like everybody was working in concert to get the draft just right. But it was just Bill Hinman's personal opinion, right? No, wait, sorry, it was just the personal opinion of one division within the SEC, right? Sorry, I can't keep up with this latest lie du jour. So a bit of editorializing. Here is a sample, guys, of just one of the emails, a lot of redacted portions. And just to kind of put some of this into perspective here, I took a look at some other tweets like, for example, James Rule XRP here on Twitter also posted this. In the comments section, though, we see Jeremy Hogan responding to Marcy and Z's reply, asking, John Deaton, Phylon Law, and attorney Jeremy Hogan, are you guys able to confirm or deny that this is in fact authentic? And Jeremy Hogan responds, yes, these are legit. These emails are heavily redacted, of course. So these are in fact the real emails. Ripple Eye down here saying they have levels in their subject lines to show importance or urgency. So some people just noticing some details here from what we can glean from the information in these emails. Importance is normal in this particular case. He's saying page 35, subject digital asset speech. Here we got some things in the body of this email. Hi, sorry for the late turnaround. Here are the clean and marked versions Wednesday evening. But look, guys, I mean, very heavily redacted emails here. David Schwartz even kind of poking fun at this. David Schwartz even getting in on the game. Wow, such shocking revelations. I mean, did you see this? Yeah, an entire redacted section here with a semicolon only left on the page. So David Schwartz obviously seeing the humor in this as well. Digital Asset Buy here on Twitter saying the SEC and Bill Hinman have lied in court and told a judge that the Ethereum Free Pass speech was Bill Hinman's personal opinion. What judge on earth would this not piss off? Yeah, very good question as well. And other people here like H_XRP_ posting another screen grab with a bit of a comical tweet here. I was able to find the non-redacted copies, guys. So the XRP community really kind of having a laugh over this. To get more serious, though, Stéphane Hubert bringing this up. Tag XRP noticed at one point that something slipped out of Lubin's mouth. So going back to Lubin, on the day the speech was actually presented, he said, I don't know if Bill... and then he's asking, replied? Is it repeated, rewrote, realigned? We're trying to figure out here what Joe Lubin actually meant in this clip. Well, I'll play it from the beginning here, guys. Listen to it yourself.
Okay, so I want to get your quick answers to a few things before we get to a final round of questions. What do you think is going to happen to Ripple with this new ruling?
I don't know the answer to that. I wasn't able to read through Bill's entire speech, and I wasn't here. I don't know if he spoke about XRPs at all.
He didn't specifically mention anything about it.
So that's interesting.
So yeah, I mean, the fact that he named two other things but didn't name that one is certainly something that should perk up ears.
So what was Joe Lubin about to say but then caught himself before he could finally say it? Whoever invited him knew that only Ethereum would get the free pass, according to Stéphane Hubert here. So, I mean, yeah, another damning piece of evidence here suggesting that the SEC did have it in their head that Ethereum was going to get a free pass and that they were going to purposely throw Ripple and XRP under the bus, so to speak. Stéphane Hubert also mentioning down here, here's the best part of it all. Remember this, Hinman didn't give the speech. He stated it in the mails he was going to give. The latest and most recent version of his speech is not publicly available. This means that he said something different at the speech than was agreed upon. Also, with regards to that speech, guys, I wanted to mention this, an interesting observation here from Crypto Arsenal on Twitter. Quick table of all those involved in the writing of the speech, a comprehensive personal opinion. So apparently this is a list of everybody that had a hand in the Hinman speech. So when we say it was Hinman's personal opinion, now, I mean, going back to Stefan Hubert's point here, I mean, if he did kind of edit on the spot what he was saying, then maybe it was more of his personal opinion than not, or maybe part of it was his personal. I mean, that's gray. It's a bit of a gray zone, a bit wishy-washy. But down here, these people were allegedly involved in the writing of the Hinman speech. And so we've got, for example, Sean Memon here, attorney at Sullivan and Cromwell. So I guess I should say these are previous positions that some of these people hold, their current positions, their departure, the SEC position that they hold. So Sean Memon was the SEC Deputy Chief of Staff. But I don't want to get into detail here. I just want to name some names that you guys will probably find familiar. Stephen Paikin. We got Dahlia Blast down here, Jennifer McHugh, David Bartels. Right down here we got Valerie Sispanic, Jonathan Ingram, Amy Starr, attorney at the SEC. So apparently all these people had knowledge of the speech and actually had a hand in helping craft the speech. Interesting to say the least. Von Redbird down here saying, I can't wait until there's subpoenas for all these folks copied within these emails. Oh, mama, I can smell a leak coming now that all these folks know their names are attached. Who gets immunity? Please stand up. Also noted here, guys, and I thought this was really, really interesting, Dr. Cano here on Twitter. I just randomly picked a name from the listing, Googled it, and look what I have found. So from the heavily redacted email, he just randomly decided to Google Dahlia Blass. And Dahlia Blass, Senior Managing Director, is the head of external affairs and a member of BlackRock's Global Executive Committee. So a tie, a connection to BlackRock here. I mean, are we even surprised anymore? And what can we glean, if anything, from these emails? I mean, it's kind of a joke that we got, this heavily redacted nonsense. Even David Schwartz is pointing that out. But anyway, wanted to thank ProCoin News here, and obviously wanted to thank Stuart Young for his continuous and diligent efforts in obtaining these redacted emails. But that's just my opinion. I want to hear what you guys think. Please subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Like the video if you like the content I'm providing. I always love hearing your comments. See you in the next one, guys.